Sing like an angel, don't I?
No, not really.
Here we are, getting ready for another review. TEVOUP has sent me the Tarantula. Right here it is. This is the Tarantula, and what? Oh my God!
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Oh, hey Jeff, good to see you.
Good morning, how are you?
It is morning, ain't it? You
Bright
got
and
your coffee?
early. I do have some coffee, need some more.
So, before we get started, got a little confession about this video. We've already started this video. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is not, hold on. You've got a thread sitting on the side of your hat. Stop that. You know I got OCD.
Gotcha.
We've already put this thing together. Apparently, this thing was crushed in transport. And I'll show you the picture right here.
Went through all that. The box looked good.
The box didn't have a ding on
Great.
it.
The box looked great. So
I don't know. Something happened in transport. It got crushed and all that stuff, so they sent us a new one. All right, we're going to get this open, get everything out, and then we will start talking about it. All right, so we've got all the pieces out, and we spent about 15 minutes
thereabouts
putting screws in places they were missing. We actually heard a rattling inside the machine, and we had to take the cover off the bottom and the hard drive, I guess it was.
Yeah, it looked like the hard drive.
It had a whole bunch of
loose.
It had shifted loose, and the screws had come out, and that's where they were at. We are going to go ahead and put this together as it comes. I already did this. I did the hard part. I put the little holders, the PLA holder together.
All right, let's put it together.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it out of sight. Sing like an angel, don't I?
No, not really. Honestly.
Wiggle it just a
Wiggle
little
it.
bit. Now you can do that on your own. Don't take Jeff having to have me do everything for him.
Ken actually just wanted to help. I didn't need his assistance. He could have sat over there in the corner drinking coffee.
All right, so it does come with a manual. But since Jeff and I are both real men, we don't need that. We're going to put this sucker together with that. I'm just kidding. Let me go get that. Hold on. So now what we're going to do is attach all of these things to where they're supposed to go.
The screw fit the hole.
Look, we have to go by the instructions.
I didn't think that was on the instructions last time because we were looking at where to put it.
It is not on the instructions.
Well,
what we're talking about is the PLA holder. There's no instructions on where to put
this wherever you want to put it.
So we're going to...
As long as it does not...
Yeah, but this, you can't put it on the side. The wheels will hit it. So we
You
got
can
to
have it over here on the table.
Well, you could. I'm not going to.
Or right there. Anyway, don't pay him a bit of attention. First thing they teach you in drama class is always hit the record button.
So we've been sitting here talking back and forth with some really good dialogue, and Jeff forgot to hit the record button.
He's the one got the control.
It is very unclear where these go. So this is a filament, so this is going to go here. Okay, this does say filament, so that one's marked good. And this one says X, so maybe this is the X up here. I would think so. Maybe they are marked well.
Well, duh.
All right, it is together. It took us about what?
6 hours and 27 minutes.
I'm pretty sure it didn't.
It was, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, about 30 minutes to put it together. And that was with tightening all the screws. And I'll put pictures over here over Jeff's face, and it'll help beautify this whole scene up, you know. But I want to talk about, it's a full-size SD card. That is exactly what all of these 3D printers and laser printer people are leaving out. You can use a full-size SD card up in the front, and that is great. It does come with its own PLA, but we know we're not going to use that because it's usually dry, broken, and all that crap, so we just throw it in the trash. Oh, I almost got it. If I wouldn't have that broom on the trash can, I would have made it. Another feature is it does have, and I'll put the picture over here again, right down here on the back side, it has a micro SD card connector. It looks very pretty, doesn't it?
It looks nice.
I mean, it's got the burnt orange color, so it's a good Halloween video. You know, maybe we should make some pumpkins or something.
Hey, good. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Pumpkins
So we'll go ahead. We'll make some some Halloween stuff. That's what we'll print. We'll hook it up to the computer. No matter of fact, let's not even hook it up to the computer.
Let it run standalone.
Yeah, let's let it. Let's
pop the card in.
We'll get some things off of the computer, pumpkin and stuff.
Your Wi-Fi name or password has changed. To update your Wi-Fi information, go to the Alexa app.
Thanks, computer.
It looks like your Wi-Fi name or password has changed. To update your Wi-Fi information, go to the Alexa app.
Technology.
I changed my password on my Wi-Fi because I didn't know what the other one was, so I reset it for
It's called old
laser
age.
video.
Old age. He forgot.
And so I forgot to reset that one. Anyways, we
Again,
digress.
old age. He
Yeah.
forgot.
Let's go ahead and get a program or a design or something off of Thingiverse.
Yep.
And then
Let's get this thing plugged up and get it powered up.
we do need to level this first.
Yeah,
So
we got to go through the leveling process.
all right, so leveling is through the LED screen right here. You're going to click it. Come on down to leveling, bed leveling. And then you can do them one at a time. Jeff's going to, we'll back off here and Jeff will be the one doing this. But you got to do it kind of quickly and each one separately. Hold on. All right. Too tight? All right, so what you're going to use are these little wheels on the bottom. There's one at every corner. And you use those and go around just so the paper is barely touching that tip. Alright, so Jeff did all the leveling on this. This does have a feature of a semi-self-leveling bed where it touches it a whole bunch of times. The machined part up under here, the two prongs that come out that these wheels go into back here were bent down a little bit, so we just bent them up and made them level with these ones up here, and now the bed should be level.
Alright, I am feeding the PLA in, the small thing, into the bigger thing. And that's not going where it...
Okay, first rule of drama classes, you don't put your head into where the camera is
Well,
looking.
that's the second rule, because you told me the first rule earlier. Alright, let me...
He's had this trouble all through high school, too.
No, I didn't. I just ain't got enough around it. I don't want to...
Here, let me show you something, Jeff.
Here, let me get an Allen wrench, and I will make it go in there.
A lot of times, since it curves, you just bend it over and do it straight.
I'll probably heat it. And then
I
it
would.
would. I'll watch the damn thing go right in. See, it's still not going in there.
Well, if you'd push this back far enough,
I was pushing it.
Well, that seems pretty. No, you weren't. You weren't pushing it far enough.
Take the damn thing out now.
Look, Jeff, 5% smarter.
I hear you. 5%.
Look, okay, we're gonna come on back.
Right now we got.
Look, I want you guys to look at this guy right here, who can't admit that Ken knew more and was smarter than him.
Feeding this long thing right here.
All right, so we figured out what we wanted to print. I think we're gonna print for our first print just to see if we can calibrate it and all that. Usually you're gonna use what's called a benchy to do a calibration. Do you know what a benchy is?
I do not. Explain.
It's a little tugboat that you print up. And what it does is you can see any stringers or anything and see if you got to calibrate your machine a little bit better.
Okay.
Right. But we're not going to do that.
Skipping that point.
We're skipping that one.
Go straight to it.
We are going straight to a little ghost.
All right.
And we're going to make a small one, probably about an inch or two.
And a half.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on here and I'm going to show Jeff how to use a slicer. So he's able to use a slicer and... you don't need to see all that. All right, so we have put just a little ghost right on this SD card, and it slides in right here. So I don't think that one failed because the bed wasn't holding, because it did hold everything down to the bed. as it got taller, there just wasn't enough surface on the bed. So we're going to try it again with another one. So I decided to try it with a raft to see. It's a little bit different of a ghost than we were doing just a second ago. It's more flat, give it more surface area to touch the plate with. Here's the ghost. I just did this one. Let's take it off. I'm going to take it off of here and then we'll see what it looks like. Probably make it bigger. And there it is, a little pumpkin. Make this one a little bit bigger. We're going to redo it. It's got some stringers. That's okay. We'll see how it comes out. Looking good. All right, that pumpkin's done. There was some issues at the back. I think that's just because the support didn't form right. So this thing has actually done really good. It does have a lot of stringers. I think those are on an edge and those will come right off. Maybe the retraction settings aren't right, and I'm not versed enough in these 3D printers to fix that retraction, but I think it'll just slide right off. That is looking so cool.
Hello, Moonland! Woo, 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 woo. We're here reviewing the Tarantula 3D printer. Take it away, Mr. Moon.
Actually, this is the end of our video here. So, we printed a lot of stuff off of here. We put it through its paces. And it's time to tell you our likes and our dislikes. But as always, I want to start off with our dislikes first. The issues we had, and I'm going to start it off. Quality control for this machine. When we got it, almost every single screw was loose. And we had to go through and put screws back in where they go and tighten them all up. So I didn't like that at all. They need to do a little bit better job at the factory to make sure it's tightened up, and that would eliminate 99% of the issues.
It would. Maybe some thread lock on the screws and nuts.
Okay. You're going to have to speak up. I just want you to know, throughout this whole video, I'm having to bring your voice tone up so they can hear you.
Gotcha. So I would highly suggest putting Loctite thread lock or some type of thread lock on all the threads on the 3D printer.
So another thing that I did not like is this bed right here has it's supposed to be a precision mount underneath here, but the two in the back were kind of bent down and we had to bend them back up to make sure the bed was level and we could use the little leveling screw, whatever they are.
Bed levelers.
Bed level. Thank you. Bed levelers. Not to be mistaken with bed wetters.
Nothing better than a lazy Saturday morning lying in a warm, moist bed.
Okay, I have another thing that I like but I don't like. So I showed you guys the SD card up here, the full-size one. Amazing. But there's also a small micro SD card, and I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. But it is underneath the back rail. And it's just hard to get to and get that SD card out. It's time to talk about things that we like. Okay. Overall, I did like this machine. I didn't think I was going to after the first experience with the one that got crushed. But we started printing with this, and this thing prints fast, and it prints extremely well.
That does look good. It really does.
You could see in the video I had some strings off of here, but I printed this up on my longer also, and I got the same stringing. Didn't see any layers that were not even, not printed right. Okay, another thing that I really liked with this machine is the look of it. I think this thing looks pretty badass. With that burnt orange color, it looks mean and slick.
That would reference back to the Tarantula looking mean.
Yeah, it does.
It does look good.
And I also like the bed size. At first I didn't think I would. I thought it'd be too small, but it's a perfect size. It's a 250 by 250. they have this little bracket right here. When your filament runs out and it hits this and it's no longer in here, before it goes into the tube and gets sucked down in there, it stops it and tells you you're out. So you can back out and put more filament in, and I really like that little sensor there. Really like this. They do have to. They got to work on that quality control at the factory though, because having screws loose and missing with the price point that this thing is at is unacceptable in my book.
Right.
So if they fix those screws, I think they would have a quality machine here. And I actually went out and looked at all the reviews on these things, and they're actually really good reviews. Like Sam now.
It's like, dang it, been doing this all day, slaving over this darn 3D printer. It's like, get on with it, Mr. Moon.
I'm trying. All right, so there is a code down in the description. I'm interested in trying it out. Even with the issues we had, I think it's a very high quality printer. Like I said, just the QC needs to be tightened up with the screws in it. Everything that came in here, it's high quality steel. It's high quality extrusion there, and it does have some really good features for it.
It looks great. Looks like it's a good quality machine. So,
all right. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and if you could hit that thumbs up button. Share the video if you can, and leave a comment on what you think about the machine or our video.
I'll just leave a comment about me. It's all good. All thumbs up.
Now that he's
thumbs
speaking
down.
up, yeah.
Thumbs down.
All right, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. Until next video, stay cool.
Later.
And right next to it is the plug-in for the computer hookup.
It looks like your Wi-Fi name or password has changed.
Every time I say computer.
Technical difficulties. Right there.